Alright, hello everyone, we're back with some more EU4 here with Nathan.
Hello.
And today we're going to hopefully show you some more mechanics, especially the ones involving war. We want to try to get to war with Granada to take back what's rightfully ours.
And crush them.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in. If you could unpause, because I can't.
Unpause.
Thank you.
You can't unpause?
I couldn't for some reason.
That's weird, because usually you can.
I know.
I have it set so you can unpause in the settings.
Looks like Portugal has a new monarch.
They do.
But we still have our royal marriage because we made the royal marriage.
Haha. So, I say that when we eventually go to war with Morocco, because we're going to go to war with Morocco, obviously, that we don't call Portugal in. Unless we have, because they'll want land.
Yeah, because okay, the way it works right now, I'll discuss the favors real quick.
Yeah.
Favors are what is used to call people into wars, and so for 10 favors, you can call someone in. And then the other way to call someone into a war is if you promise them land. So if you don't have 10 favors and you want someone in the same war, then you can just promise them land, and they'll be more likely to join.
I'm gonna do something and see if you notice what it is.
Oh wow! So yeah, we are now allied to France. That's great. You shouldn't have done that though, because you might call us into that war.
He won't. And even if so, look, they're literally just standing around. So we just earn favors. So
they've done their things. But Castile's boats are right there, so or not Castile.
Okay.
England's boats are right there. Hey, look, we're at war. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. Okay, put the ships in port before we accept the request.
They're not going to come down here. If they start moving, then we can. Otherwise, just keep taking them anywhere.
Okay, you want to accept
this is why we don't play the same country for the most part, you know?
Yeah, but we're going to earn favors. It's free favors.
Alright, so we are now at
war. Wait. Yeah, okay, we're good.
As you can see, these England troops, or the England ships, are blockading our ports. As you can see by this little red border here. And so that's going to hurt us a little bit in these provinces, but it's not going to hurt too bad.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
For the most part, I don't think they're going to land any more troops.
No, they have no entry points.
And hopefully soon the War of Roses will start, and they'll be more likely to peace out.
Yep. So
they're already at medium war enthusiasm.
And we bring strength to the alliances, which should help us get out quick.
Yes. And so here you have the wars. This is where the war interfaces pop up, one for each war that's going on. Since we're at war with England, this one pops up here. We can see the war goals to take the capital of Paris, which they have not done. So our side gets bonus. Our side gets a bonus war score each month. So here's the current war score is 50. There's only been 2 battles, and I don't...
Because they had no troops down here.
Yeah, there's only been 2 battles, but we get a lot of war score from the occupations.
Yeah, and having the war goal, because...
And having the war, yes.
Yeah. So, ready to unpause?
Yes, so we'll see how this goes out. We'll probably won't see any combat here. They're just... Okay, look, they're moving their ships now.
They're moving them north, it seems.
So we'll see what happens there. They might be picking up troops.
Yeah, okay, so the reason why is that the AI, or the computer players, very heavily focus on the non-computer players, aka the people playing. For no other reason than that game developers think that they want to make it harder for us.
I think that just seems to be the case.
I've seen it where I declare war on someone, and they're winning their war, but have nothing. It's a two-fronted war, and as soon as I declared war on them, they white-peaced in a war they were absolutely going to win, so that they can march everything toward. So yes, it's actually a thing. Let's watch their ships closely. If they were to land anywhere, they probably would land. Do they have fleet basing access? They don't even have military access through Portugal, so we should be fine. And we actually earned power projection because we're at war with our rival.
Okay, so here's a naval battle.
Oh, there was a naval
We
battle.
lost because France is moving their boats around like an idiot.
Yeah, we lost pretty badly too.
Of course, England has one of the strongest navies in the world at this point.
They're on an island. What do you expect?
Yeah.
They pretty much need a navy to do anything. So, oh, they're landing troops in Calais.
Yes, but we don't have to worry about that.
We're not moving our troops.
Okay, so we got our first event here.
You got an event?
Yeah, you can't see it. So we got the Cardinal Minister event. And so here's some background information. Something about the cardinals and the Pope and the Castilian King. So we have two choices here. He has aided us well so far, so let us get the formality over with. Or Juan II does not need his advice to rule Castile.
Always put him in.
So if we do this, clergy gains 5 influence, and all those modifiers happen to us until 1467.
Yeah, 20 years. And clergy can definitely take some influence. They're only at 62 right now.
So it gives us 1 extra missionary strength, and we'll need that when we're converting Granada's land. So I think we should take it.
I concur.
Either that or we get 10 prestige. Prestige is just something that you can get up pretty high, and it gives you the following modifiers at the bottom there.
We don't need the prestige because we are the Curia controller.
Yeah, I
think we're okay. We're actually earning prestige because we're the Pope.
So we're gonna take the. He's gonna help us. This Cardinal Minister is gonna help us.
Yeah.
And we shall continue. Alright. So if you look up here, you can see that Calais is a fort, and England has started to siege it back. You can see by the blue stripes that France occupied it. They already sieged it down while we weren't involved in this war. But if you look now, England is trying to take it back. And so here we have the siege screen. Nathan, you want to explain that to them a little bit?
Yeah, so what the sieges do is that they're trying to occupy a fort that is there. So there's a fort protecting the province, so you need to siege back the fort.
What level is this fort?
This level is a level 2 fort.
As you can see right there. Yeah. And
they go in increments of 2, so there's 2, 4, 6, 8. Is there a level 10 fort or no?
I think so. Let me check real quick.
Okay. But there's also a level 1 fort in every capital city.
There's no plus 10. It goes up to plus 8, but then you could also have your capital make it plus 9.
Yeah, so the highest is 9.
Yes.
So you need 3 troops per fort level to be able to siege it down. To even attempt to siege it. So this one, they would need 6 troops.
And they have 14.
2. Well, and they're landing another 6.
Yes.
So they're going to have to 20. They have plenty. Yeah. But later on in the game, you can get cannons, which will help it more.
Yeah. There's different modifiers. So if you want, I can go through all the modifiers.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so here you have your siege status. And so each month, default it is 30. The base is 30. But then there's stuff like fort defensiveness and siege ability that'll affect each phase. So right now for England, each phase is 33 days. And so each phase, they'll roll the dice, or they'll just randomly generate a number. And so as you can see here, here's the outcomes. If they roll a 1, it'll be a disease outbreak. If they roll supplies 5 to 11, they'll get supplies shortage. If they roll 12, they'll get a food shortage. And each one has different results. Disease outbreak will cause England to suffer 5% attrition,
which is good for us.
Good for us. If they roll a supply shortage, then the siege status will increase. If they roll supply shortage or food shortage, the siege status will increase and give them extra. Right now it's negative 50%, so it won't happen on this phase, but as it increases, the percentage gets higher.
Mm-hmm.
Other modifiers that affect the siege status would be the commander. If he has siege pips, then this number will change.
Blockade.
If you have artillery,
Yeah.
if you have 1 artillery, it gives you a 1 bonus, 4 gives you 2, 6 gives you 3, 8 gives you 4, 10 gives you 5. Blockades, if there's no blockade there and it's a coastal fort, you get negative modifiers. But since England is blockading it currently, there is no negatives. The fort level itself gives you negative modifiers, so if it was a level 3 fort, it would give you negative 3. If it was level 4, it would give you negative 4, etc. And then if you breach the walls, it gives you extra bonus, and then here it just shows you the roll.
Yep.
So that's the
Couldn't have said it
basics.
better myself.
And that's just the basics. There's a
Yeah.
lot more that factors into it. Like you could assault if the walls were
See,
breached.
So if you could look right now, there's a negative 2 modifier because they're not blockading it in.
Yeah, they're both left. And so
For a weird reason.
they have negative 2. And let's see, they rolled a 3, which means they got
Status quo.
status quo. So yeah, it doesn't say there, but anywhere between 2 and 4 is a status quo, which means nothing happens.
They're learning more troops. Jeez.
That's not good for them, because if their supplies are over the supply limit, then they will suffer attrition.
Unless that guy have siege pips?
There it is. They are suffering
doesn't even-
2.7.
He doesn't even have siege pips. There's no reason to land those extra troops. Oh, they're landing some in Picardy. Oof.
Yeah, and Lorraine's gonna move on those.
Good for Lorraine.
Maybe we'll get some land battle right here.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, there
we
it
do.
is.
Okay. So let's go over land battles real quick. Do you want to start explaining it, or do you want me to?
You go for it. I'll take over in the middle.
Okay. So here we have the Battle of Picardy. Okay. And so you can see here that no one can retreat yet. You have to go through 2 phases, I believe, before you can retreat.
2 of each. So 4 phases.
Here you can see that England has no leader, which is bad for them. Lorraine does have a leader, 1-2-1-1. You can see that England suffered a crossing penalty because they crossed from their boats onto land, and so that gives them negative modifiers in each phase. That stays there. Here you can see the rolls. So England rolled a 4, Lorraine rolled an 8, and then Lorraine also got a bonus from their general because he has 1 fire. Here you can see the morale. Once that goes out, the battle's over.
And so say Lorraine's leader had 2 fire, which would be there, but say England had a leader and their guy had 1 fire, it would just show up as 1 fire for Lorraine because it's the difference between the 2. It doesn't show like plus for both.
Yeah.
It shows like the net.
Yeah. Alright, so more things you can see. You can see the actual troops and where their positions are. So here you can see these little X's. Those are infantry, and this is how they deployed. This infantry is flanking. Here's a cavalry, it's a little slash. It's also flanking. Here this infantry is doing nothing, and this infantry is doing nothing. Over here you can see all the bonuses. So right now England has 100% discipline, they have 2.6 morale, and then they have 0.5 military tactics. And so those are just different bonuses. You can see here that Lorraine actually has 105% discipline because they have an extra 5 from something. I think that's their ruler. And they only have 2.5 morale, and that's just base. So this started at around 2.5. England started at 2.6. And so if we watch here, we can watch. You want to lower it down to 1 speed?
Yes.
Right now it's in the fire phase. Soon it'll switch to the shock, and he'll have different bonuses depending on his score. So we watch now. You can see their morale's going by day. They're losing more morale. Now it switched to the shock phase. They have a bonus of 2. This is what they rolled. They're losing troops based on those rolls, and we won.
So that's what we like to call a stack wipe.
Yes, because his troops instantaneously got destroyed because they couldn't retreat. The battle didn't last long enough for them to be able to retreat.
So they died.
So they died.
A gruesome death. So let's unpause,
Okay.
and I'm gonna move it back up to 2 speeds. So yeah, there's 5 speeds up in the corner. We usually run on 2 for 2 different reasons. One is because we like to have a more control over the game, so we like it to run slower so that we can control more and actually like take control of stuff. Because when it goes so fast, you miss out on a lot of days that you could have actually been doing decisions on. And second of all, we like having it slower because both of our internets are not great.
At the moment, no.
Soon to be much better, but at the moment, both of our internets are not the greatest in the world. So,
as you can see here, England has a bunch of troops on Calais, and so they are suffering 2.5% losses on that entire army.
every month.
Every month.
That's how you lose your manpower real quick.
And so, if we calculate that, how much troops they have? 31,000?
Yes.
And then they're suffering 2.5?
Yes.
So they are losing 775 men each month. Just from sitting there.
Oh,
Okay, so yes, now we can start a war of our own. And we probably shouldn't have been drilling when that happened, so we're gonna let our morale come back. You can see our morale is almost nothing. We have 0.5 morale. And so each month, since we're not drilling anymore, it'll go up. So we're gonna wait for a couple months.
we're not going to attack them. Look at them.
Are you kidding me?
Well, that's a terrible friend right there.
Well, we can wait till... Okay, so what we're referring to is that, if you look here, Portugal guaranteed them. And
Why would they do that?
It was probably to stop us from declaring on them right away, so they could take it for themselves. But once they break that guarantee, they're gonna have a truce, and it'll give us a little window of opportunity to declare on them.
Yes.
Either that, or we could just say, screw you, Portugal, and just attack regardless, and then we'd be at war with Portugal.
Which I am not a huge fan of being at war with Portugal right now.
I mean, they're not that strong.
They aren't.
But
I
it would
would
be
like
annoying.
It would be very... Because it's 2 fronts plus having to fight Grenada's allies down in Africa. So it's like we'd be fighting almost a 3-front.
So let's just wait and see how this goes.
I agree.
I don't think that it's going to be that way for a while, because Portugal's probably just pulling this because they want the land for themselves, so they'll eventually break the guarantee.
And if they don't, they're going to lose a friend.
And we'll re-ally them. They have the historical friend bonus, so it's really hard to not be friends with Portugal as Castile.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we could just conquer all of Portugal, which is what I would do if this were like
do that.
a normal campaign, but
yeah, we both usually just take them completely over.
more land for ourselves.
But we're not doing that this camp because we're trying to be more diplomatic and not get coalitions. Although attacking Portugal, you don't really get a coalition very much. It's one of the nice things. Let's see. I say we recall that diplomat from the Papal State.
I say so too.
So now we have another free diplomat. So
Alright, so we should use it.
let's go to the diplomacy screen and see if there's anyone who would love to be...
Oh, wait. No, okay. Let's try and improve with Granada.
With Grenada?
Or not Granada, sorry, Portugal. So they will remove their guarantee of Granada.
Oh, I know what else we should do. We should set those provinces as...
Vital interest. Okay,
Yes.
so another thing to do is here we have the provinces of interest. And this is basically telling the rest of the world what we want to take. And so for
Yes.
now, we'll just go with those because we already have claims on those, and that is stuff that we want. And I think that's what we'll stick with right now because Aragon, we don't really want to take their land; we want to subjugate them.
Correct.
But if you look at other countries, they have already set theirs. So you can see here, Portugal wants all of this stuff.
We might want to set
Aragon wants all of this stuff.
We might want to set Melilla and Tangiers from Morocco also has interest.
Well, Portugal's already doing that. So if we were to set these two, then Portugal wouldn't like us less because we want the same land.
Yeah.
And so that's why we should refrain from doing it.
Yes, but we're probably going to end up at war with Portugal anyway.
And
so,
Portugal already has claims on those provinces, by the way.
Melilla and Tangiers?
Yeah.
Well, I know they do Tangiers, but I didn't know about Melilla. They have it on
Well,
Fez
we
as
can
well.
always do Tlemcen. If we finish the Reconquista, we can continue it in Tlemcen later.
I like going into Tlemcen.
Yeah, me too.
It's a nice jumping off point, especially Dara, because you can go from Dara to Annaba, and you're over to Tunis, and then you're over near the fun action. And if you would look over at the Ottomans, you can see Byzantium dying a gruesome death. Speaking of which, they're gone.
Alright, so we got another event here.
How come you get all the events?
I don't know. Yeah, Byzantium's gone. That sucks.
They literally just got separate peace, or just pieced out.
You already recalled from France, right? Yeah.
Yes, I just did it.
Okay. So we got merchant defects. Our use of mercantilist policies is proving frustrating for some of our merchants, causing some to defect to other countries. And so we have two options. We can do mercantilism is right, or we can do a slight loosening of the policy might be the answer. So, generally, for the sake of money, you want to increase your mercantilism because it gives you embargo efficiency and provincial trade power modifier, which is really good.
Yes. And mercantilism, unlike most things in the game, is permanent.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For the most part. It never
It just varies based on events.
Correct. It never goes away. So if you increase mercantilism, for the most part, it's good for almost 400 years. So there's no reason not to, unless there's a more useful thing that you could be doing.
Anyway, so we're still watching the siege.
I don't understand
Okay,
why.
so England is at low enthusiasm now for the following reasons, if you look below. And so that means they're very, willing to peace out. They want to be out of this war.
Yes.
And so pretty soon here we should see a peace deal.
Well, they should definitely march on the English siege up there. Because if you march on someone when they're sieging stuff down, your stuff down, you become the defender even though you attacked them. So there's a huge bonus to attacking them when they're doing that stuff. But I don't know why they would.
Oh, they just suffered a disease outbreak.
Yeah.
It's very bad for them.
And this is another reason why the AI is good at this game as we are. Because we would wait, and after a disease outbreak, we would instantaneously attack. Because they've suffered a lot of losses.
Okay.
And we would get the defender bonus, so.
So I'm looking at the papal influence right now. And we can see that France and England have both invested. So if we invest 10 more, we can increase our chances even more, which I think we should do. What do you think?
I think we should do as well. Since we are already the Pope, it's going to be much more effective to keep the Pope.
Yeah, it's always nice, because it would suck to lose all those bonuses.
Yeah, exactly.
We should probably find something to do with our diplomats. We have 2 free right now.
I know, I've been looking at alliances.
Yeah, I'm going to show the production interface, the diplomacy in there.
Okay.
So here, if we wanted to improve relations with a certain group of people, we could just have that set, and it would automatically set the diplomats to improve with certain countries. But we could also look at people who want alliances.
I was also looking at vassals, but no one wants to. France wants a royal marriage.
Yeah. Why aren't we royal married to them already?
Because they started the war and then we never did it.
We still can, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'd do it.
Okay.
There's no reason not
I
to.
sent one diplomat to do that.
Okay.
And so we
I'm trying to
basically we use this when we want something to do with our diplomats.
I'm trying to see. We could ally Scotland.
We could excommunicate some people, but we have no reason to. Alright, so, I think that's good for now. So what are you looking at?
I think we should excommunicate Bohemia, only for the sake of messing with the Holy Roman Empire.
Let's not worry about that for now.
Because then we could maybe get Austria to attack them.
In fact, I think our time is up.
I agree.
Alright, so this is a good stopping point. We'll see what happens with this siege here. They should be pretty willing to peace out soon. Unless they take that back, then they might be less willing. So we'll see what happens with that. And we'll see what happens if Portugal decides to stop being a dumbass.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we'll find that out in the next episode. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.